Hello and welcome to our presentation. Our team consists of Max, Josephine, Robin, me, Fahim, Oscar, Oliver, and Johan. The agenda for the day is that we will take you through SWOT analysis, then the IDA, and after that we will present to you our ideas, and lastly we will talk about 4 Ps. So now is the time to hand it over to my colleague Johan.
Thank you, Fahim. When analyzing Plastic Bank through a SWOT analysis, we discovered the following. So first, looking at strengths, Plastic Bank's primary upside is that they are fundamentally focused towards sustainable work. And even though this is their main focus, they still have a profitable business model, which decreases their reliance on donations. And since they moved into the market very early, they have established a great network of recycling hubs and logistical chains, which will enable them to grow faster. And when it comes to weaknesses, one major downside that we identified is that there are issues with the geographical positioning. Since Plastic Bank's operations are spread out between several countries, they need to develop logistical chains for each place. And an issue with the business model is that it only provides a reactive solution to handling plastic waste. And this poses a threat to the market, since competition that would provide proactive solution, they could potentially take over the market. And looking at opportunities, we can identify market changes that are in favor of Plastic Bank. Consumers nowadays declare a higher demand of sustainability, and since plastic waste is a very big problem around the globe, Plastic Bank has a lot of growth potential. We can also see emerging technologies that could potentially benefit Plastic Bank in the future. However, this should also be considered a threat, since other technologies could enter the competition. Now, I mentioned a few threats already, but the main threat is that there is a high demand for plastic waste management and very few barriers to enter the market. And this, in coherence with other threats such as emerging technologies and proactive solutions, it poses a dangerous competition threat for Plastic Bank if they do not act fast enough. And now over to Oscar, who will present the IDA model. Thank you.
Thank you, Johan. So over to IDA objectives. Firstly, our awareness goal will be to reach out to 80% of the target group, which should be done in 1 year. This thanks to our company visits we're going to do and attending to different fairs, and also by marketing ourselves on social media and the mails we will send out to companies. Our interest goal is to gain interest from 10% of the awareness group, which should be done in 1 year. Our focus here is to create an appealing website for companies to learn more, and thereby also reaching our desired goal of 15% of the interest group, which should be done in 1.5 years. Regarding the action objectives, the first objective will be that 10% of the desired group will become recycled plastic customer. This goal should be reached within 3 years, since B2B customers need time to readjust their supply chain. The second action objective is that 50% of our new customers are willing to become plastic neutral by also donating to obtain the certificate. This time limit will also be 3 years. The third and last objective is that 50% of the remaining desired groups still want to donate to us, since they are at the moment probably don't want to change the supply chain. Time limit for this objective will be 2.5 years. And now I hand over to Robin.
Thank you, Oscar. Our idea originates from that Plastic Bank today only collects plastic from the ground and from the shoreline, but not from the oceans. Because there is still, however, a lot of plastic in the sea, which have a devastating effect on the environment and the animal life surrounding it. The Ocean Cleanup is a non-profit organization who aim to do just that. They want to clean the oceans and rivers using 100% solar-powered ships and robots. So we believe a strategic alliance between the Ocean Cleanup and Plastic Bank would be really beneficial. Some example of the benefits would be shared resources, would get an extended reach for collecting trash, and the Plastic Bank would actually gain a brand equity, which I will talk about more in just a few seconds. So let's continue to the 4 Ps and talk about product. Since we'll actually be able to collect more plastic with this alliance, we will enable us to produce more social plastic, more of our product. With this product, we want to gain a larger brand equity, which can be achieved by adding value, which we'll be doing by a certificate for our products. An example that can be seen on the right picture, you see a plastic bottle and the mark that is being produced with recycled plastic. And by that, I want to leave it over to Max, who will talk about price.
Thank you, Robin. So plastic is a low engagement product with a lot of available suppliers. Due to this, plastic is a very price sensitive product and dependent on the current market price. The price right now is approximately at 245 euros per ton, but there is also a large cost to recycle plastic and is today considered a zero profit industry. The cost presented in the figure is based on the average cost for countries to collect and recycle plastic. With Plastic Bank, our estimate is lower than that of countries as they use another method for collecting and it is part of their core business and should therefore have a more efficient process of recycling. Still, they will lose money on this operation if they use the market price and must increase their price with at least 55 euros per ton to be profitable. To be able to do this, they must consider establishing an added value, as has been discussed earlier. Now I will leave over to Oliver.
Thank you, Max. I will go through the physical distribution of the products. The idea is that the interceptor would be placed in Denna River, which is one of the top 50 most plastic polluting rivers in the world. Plastic Bank community would then be responsible for emptying the interceptor. They would take the plastic back to their communities and sort it before they go to a young shop in Denna, in which the plastic is exchanged for cryptocurrency payments. The plastic would then be shipped to a collection center in Manila, in which a warehouse also is in place in order to facilitate bulk transportation. Then to get it to the customer, an intermodal transportation mode would be used with both boat and train as it is most cost effective. I leave it over to Josephine.
Thank you, Oliver. Our marketing campaign will have an emotional appeal. For the B2B market, a poster has been created and encourage companies to get their supply chain involved. And this poster will further be published on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. The Plastic Bank's website header will also be used in order to promote the project. And when it comes to increasing the value of our brand, we will also market the brand towards the end consumers in the B2C market by labeling all the products that are made from the social plastic with a positive associated Plastic Bank logo and make an emotional YouTube video about the process behind the logo. It creates awareness among customers and also put pressure on companies to see the value of our brand and get their supply chain active. And with that said, our team sincerely thank you for your attention and open up for questions.